incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
S-T-R-O. Yeah.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up.
Yeah.
I can't spend the day with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright.
Yeah.
I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I'm made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support ride. Lifting up, never not on my grind. New York City time, another brother better, you will never find. I've been in my bag like groceries. Competition shouldn't take shots, take notes, please. Reporting live from the winning side. Ready to try, keep a different vibe. Is you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great color coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I didn't grab the few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they interplay. They've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
So pinpoint, so accurate. Sometimes we forget just how good he is. We start to take him for granted because he always places the ball exactly where it needs to be for his receivers.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Back to you. I'm going.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Now on 2nd and 13, Rodgers, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Jamon Moore, the intended receiver, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Quickly now, here's a look at the Green Bay offense.
And this offensive line, they're going to have to be a lot better than they were right there. We certainly won't measure them just by one play, but they definitely got a big challenge ahead of them in this one because this defense, they love to run blitz, and they clog up the running lanes.
Now Rodgers. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Falcons. Wow, sensational 95 yards on the punt return as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. They get the stop defensively, force the punt. They score without their offense even stepping on the field.
I remember playing on special teams and teasing the guys on offense like, look, don't even worry about it. You guys just hang out over there. We'll bring this one all the way back and get the points we need. In this case, they actually got that done.
Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that makes the score 7-0. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Packers get set to go. And their 2nd attempt here, the first drive stalled and they punted.
Time to break some things out, I think, in the playbook. Now that they've gotten out there, gotten settled a little bit, let's see if they open things up. Maybe try and get the ball in the hands of the guys and get the ball into the end zone. They're playmakers.
They would like that. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run. Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively, because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line, because now if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
6-man. Check curls, check curls, check curls.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta.
You can script and diagram plays all you want, but no one really envisions something like that happening this early in the game. How about that run to get things started? Didn't he win NFC Player of the Week last week?
Yeah, he was on fire a week ago, and what a start to this one.
Yeah, no sign of him cooling down at all.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. The numbers for Freeman a week ago, just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs, and that total, scary.
Get out! Walk it out!
Ito Smith, his first carry. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Ito Smith, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons push further out in front.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
So that drive, 4 plays. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever.
So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked,
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved. and they got it done a second time.
The lefty Tavecchio now to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
The starters defensively now for the Falcons. They played really well in the win last week over the Redskins.
I lost count of the number of turnovers that were occurring in that game, right? I mean, I had a clicker going after a while. 5, 6, 7, 8. It was unbelievable. There haven't been that many turnovers or takeaways, however you want to say, in the game since the Reagan administration. This is absolutely unreal.
I was in diapers. From the 27, Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Tavecchio to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground. But that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. The numbers on the ground for Jones last week, 20 carries, 93 yards.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space because the defense will key on them.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at it. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score Falcons 35, Packers nothing.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Here's J.K. Scott now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken at the 23. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones. His 14th touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. We've seen these two, Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, connect quite a few times over the years. It never gets old.
It never gets old. Well, maybe for the defense it does, but not for us who are watching it. And Julio, every time he steps on the field, you can just about mark him down for 100 yards. That's about his career average per game. But think about this. Getting in the end zone has always been a struggle for him. He gets the big yardage, but he doesn't get the touchdowns. Not this time. No matter how many people were kicked in coverage, he found a way to beat it.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Marching back onto the field now, Devontae Adams and company getting set to go. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts. One of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now it's Rodgers, and he will find the open man as Jamon Moore. The 30, past the 20, and he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 66 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to go back to Moore there, but it's going to be 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Rodgers. Throwing again. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to go back to Moore there, but now it's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. The 3rd down battle won by Atlanta's defense. Solid coverage.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. Badgley able to knock this one through, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And there he goes again. He's at the 30, 10, touchdown, Falcons. He goes 110 yards from one end zone to the other as his guys continue to pour it on. So how about the game he's having? He had the punt return earlier for a touchdown. Now the kick return to balance things out.
And oftentimes, guys who are on punt return and kickoff return, many of them are the same guys. And they're devoted to a return guy who can break big plays. And when that happens and they know it's there, they're going to block that much harder and be that much more skillful, as well as utilizing his talents. And this is what you get. Punt return, kick return, a huge game.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Scampering home from 19 yards out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And while no one on the offensive line will get the 6 points next to their name, they should be credited with this one. Tremendous blocking to get the runner into the end zone.
Tavecchio good on the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position and only one play to score it. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role in why they are trailing right now. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Ito Smith heading back out with the rest of his offensive crew. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what this
is caught at the 20. A big play there, Ryan to Jones. 54 yards. And now he is just 2 catches away from 1,000 on his career. 998 currently. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Julio Jones once again the intended target. And it's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They toss to Freeman. Stays on his feet. Freeman a first down and more. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman with his second touchdown here in this first half as his guys continue to pour it on. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes Devontae Adams in the offense for their next drive. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
Fielded at the 20. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. To throw on 2nd and 6. Ryan, he'll rifle this one deep. This is caught at the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Calvin Ridley, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And the route is on here in this first half. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense, trotting back out. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is, for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense has done a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Taken in at the 22. And he's loose again. And how about this? He takes it all the way back. No time, no flags. A punt return touchdown and a stunning end of the first half.
And they kicked it to him. They kicked it to him. Well, if you're into cheesy movies, you would title this one, I Have to Remember, wouldn't you? His second return touchdown of the game.
What if I'm not into cheesy movies?
Well, go ahead and get into it, man, because I just did it, and you're going to green light that one. How about those returns? Maybe they ought to think about not kicking him the ball.
Yeah, they might want to go away from him in the future.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, where you see the final score there. Dalvin Cook, over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far, with a touchdown run as well. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting San Francisco 49ers. Andy Isabella, a touchdown catch in the victory. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they were losers in that game as they fall to the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. In our game, it was the former MVP, Matt Ryan, with a strong first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets It's underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about half.
It's caught inside the 25. A big play there, Ryan to Jones, 48 yards. Now we watch everything with great anticipation because he just had his 999th reception. And yes, math majors, the next one, a big one, 1,000. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he is going to lose yardage here. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
Right there. Right there. 54 Mike. I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
Freeman again. That one 28 yards on the ground.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys continue to pour it on. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. He's got daylight. He's at the 50, 30, the 20. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys are able to get a score back. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer in the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman. 72 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Rodgers will bring the Pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, his struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fielded just inside the 20. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here are the Falcons to take over on offense. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now beginning this drive 1st and 10. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Freeman. 20! And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped. A 1st down carry for Smith. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll run it again with Smith. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Taking it in from 14 yards out as his guys continue to pour it on.
I can't help it, partner. I love backs who have a lot of burst.
Yeah, they ran the toss play. By the way, sometimes you'll hear toss and pitch used interchangeably, but that was the toss.
Well, for me, a toss, quarterback takes the snap, turns around, tosses it to
like
the tailback.
Like an egg underhand.
Yeah, like an egg underhand, really with 2 hands. And a pitch, usually like you're running an option-type play, and you pitch it out there to the trailing back.
Goes end over end like a field goal.
Yeah, where you turn it over, make sure that thumb turns down and the ball flips end over end slowly and delicately to your running back.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today,
under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, Someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. This is Jones. And this is going to be back-to-back tackles for a loss here as the Falcons' defense yet again drops him behind the line.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defender. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been terrific so far. That's pulled in at the 32. So possession goes over here on the punt. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive. And this is caught inside the 5. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. And he's done it. 1,000 career catches with that last reception.
I don't care what you've done in your life. How many things have you done 1,000 times of significance? How about this? With that,
and he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. Making the catch is Sternberger. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down. Can you believe it? 0 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
12 yards on the return that time. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. Glancing down at the stat sheet, and we've been tracking it, but you get a 100-yard game, you're really happy. You're over 200 like he is. You probably want that ball after this game, don't you?
You want that one. You want to continue to call the same plays in any other game you play. You're having one of those magical performances that just never want to end. And you know,
Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. Past the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, 73 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, I'm just not sure what more we can say about him after that one.
But we're certainly going to give it a try, aren't we? Because I believe we're watching greatness personified. It has not mattered all game long where they've handed him the football. He's taken it and found the end zone. He is so locked into that so-called zone, I don't think they're going to get him out of it in this one.
Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Tavecchio. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
To throw again on second down. He was trying to find Equanimous St. Brown, and it's third down. The Packers on third down, an almost unimaginable 0 for 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Boy, he covered a lot of ground. 82 yards on the punt return as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
All right, count him along with me. That's his 3rd return for a touchdown in this game. Why is the ball being kicked to him? That would be my question.
I was just going to ask you the same question because we see 2 occasionally. I mean, very rare. 3, unbelievable. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Throwing again. Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Here's Rodgers. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. The 20. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And the lead will swell by one more. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here, you've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
Shedding the tackler that gives him some room. And there he goes again. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Deion Jones in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, Have we ever heard a coach say, I just don't have that play on my call sheet? And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. They're going to line up to go for this on 4th down. Rodgers stays on the field. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Rodgers now to throw. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. One final try now for Rodgers. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Falcons, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they drop just their 2nd game so far as they fall to...
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready?
Get ready, dog.
This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Poss, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, and head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rocking over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit,